Okay. Now let's hear what Alan have to say about that situation. Okay.
All right. So first of all, I would like to say that Raymond begged me to let you have the forfeit. Okay, begged me to. And I'm the one that changed it, and I'm the one that told him no. We had just gone through all that we went through the night before. I, even though I followed the rules, I conceded, and I gave you the 3 point win. Okay? Nowhere in the rules does it say if the any backs out, are you to then back out. That's a EA thing. The man backed out. You played the game. If you could have got 10 to 12 goals, so be it.
There
That
is a rule that says that you must play with 6 players or less, correct?
you must start the game. Yes, you have to have 6 players to field a game. Yes,
A roster, right?
that's correct.
Right, okay, so after he lagged out, they had 5 players.
Okay, but they started the game with 6. So I'm saying you took it upon yourself because you didn't want to play without an any to back out. You backed out and you forfeited.
But
It's simple.
I do believe, right, that I read somewhere on their rules, right, tonight, that it's a manager's judgment to back out on good reasons, okay?
No, you didn't read that anywhere. I'm saying if you made the choice to back out when you shouldn't have, and then his players were upset and didn't want to play, then it is what it is.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that their assistant manager agreed to replay the game. Now, I'm not going against the rule book at all. I love this league. I play in this league for a reason because I enjoy playing in this league, right? But at the end of the day, if you accept to replay a game, then that has to be the pinnacle answer.
What you're saying is, if you and the other owner agree to play a game, that's the way it should be.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, we at the end of the day, if we're playing with 11 people, right, then why shouldn't another team? No judgment whether they're in like last place. Look at PSV; they're in like third place, and they play with 5 players. I didn't even notice that they played with 5 players against us, right? But the team they played after did, and they claimed a forfeit against them.
Big Mac said the goal of the league is to play the games, not take forfeits.
Well, exactly. Do you know what I mean? It just comes down to playing in Division 10 again, where you get 2-0 up and the team backs out.
Well, I'm going to tell you, what did it for me was totally the way that your team once again handled it. And I said, you know what? If they want to act this way and act like children, then we'll just enforce the rule to the letter of the law. I had already conceded my justifiable forfeit because I respected what you had done with Celtic. I let's understand, be clear about it. I would not have been wrong by the rules to take that forfeit because the guy did put it in late and you did play him and you shouldn't have. Okay? However, I did the right thing, and then here we come the next day with more Celtic drama. And you know, I took more low class, disrespectful comments and messages from your team than I generally get in a season in one night. In one night.
I can respect that, Adam.
And you know, what troubles me, Junior, is when something happens, somebody can't just message me in private and say, hey, this is what's going on, what can we do? And then we can think about it with some civility and figure out a solution to the problem. Instead,
if you remember, Adam, right? Sorry to butt in, right? But you invited me to a private message on Facebook, yeah, and I was talking to you fine.
Well, that's correct.
I told you about it, right? And then you invited me into a group conversation with you and Gump.
Correct.
And at that point, right, I just didn't want to talk to anybody. I was frustrated, right? And I just left the group straight away.
That's correct.
Right? And I didn't post a single comment on Facebook. I let the whole, escalate to whatever it wanted to be, because I just didn't want to talk about it. And not because I didn't want to talk to you privately, but because I was so wound up at the fact, that you were right in some circumstances, but
But had we talked it out there in that group, I mean, to be honest with you, Gump agreed with you. And he's most of the reason why I changed my mind. And if you'd have stayed in that group, we'd have had none of that garbage that we went through on Facebook. And Nezo, I see you typing in the chat, and you can say whatever you want. You're one of the most disrespectful people I've ever dealt with. You don't understand what mutual respect is. You don't know how to talk to people. So you can move on as far as I'm concerned, because I don't appreciate how you talk to me. And I didn't speak to you in that way. I don't use that kind of language, and it was unnecessary. So type what you want. But anyway, I just wish you'd have stayed in that group, because Gump really is the one that made it all make sense to me, Junior. And the fact that you'd stepped up and took this team over, and how it must have felt to you when that happened. And that's why I made the change, even after all of your team's filthy comments and disgusting language.
well, in hindsight, it's great. Like looking back, and I wish I did, but at that time, to be honest with you, right, the only reason I didn't stay in that group conversation because I was going to flip and just like freak out and just go mad.
But it'd have been fine, because it was just me, you, and Gump. Then it wasn't the whole league watching it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying now, but in my mind, I was just going to freak out and go mad at you and just but I didn't want to do that.
Well,
so, that's why I just left. And like, obviously, if anyone's watching, obviously I was in the wrong.
So
Sorry.
with that, then I think we've heard
enough of this.
Story. I think we've had some good participation from the players in the chat box on Twitch. I've been trying to keep up with that as best I can, as well as listening. Guys, moving forward with this, if there are any problems for any reason whatsoever, some people would have seen me comment on Facebook over the last 2-3 weeks, as and when somebody says, Man United, are you there? Dortmund, are you there? On Facebook, or we're going to take a forfeit because we can't find them, etc. There's 3 channels of communication we can and do try and use there. You've got Xbox Live, everyone's gamer tagging on the website, itself as well, and then through Facebook. But I will say the whole rematch thing with LA, I think that that's justifiable purely because you've got one of the board of governors, on LA. If that's been confirmed, all we need to know, and Adam, I'm not speaking directly for the league, but this is my opinion. All we need to know is that what's happened, what's going to happen, and is the game going to be played, and is it going to be played in a civil manner? And if that's the case, then that's fine. But that's all that needs to be communicated. So I think if we can, try and draw a line in the sand under it and move on with the last week of the season, politely, with as much respect as possible, I think we're in for a good playoff, good postseason, and it sets us up nicely for next season as well.
All right.
I don't even think my team would mind replaying the game against LA Galaxy. Like even now, after going 3-0 up at half time, I think we'd happily play them again.
Well, there are certain channels and certain things that can be done if there are problems this Thursday. Friday, we actually only have one game in the league, So there is a time slot that we can use in order to replay any games where there are issues. But as I say, you just got to use the right communication channels and make sure that Adam and Gump are made aware, regardless of what the team is. Yeah. That's all. That's a shout out, not just yourself, Matt, but that's anyone.
It's cool, mate. It's cool.
I think, and to move nicely on with it and wrap it up, I want to say a big thanks to all the guys that are listening in tonight. I think we've got nearly 80 viewers at the moment.
80 viewers. See what you've done, Adam.
So, well, you know what? It's it's good. It's a good testament to the league, and hopefully people are hearing that we're trying to resolve this properly, and it's not as corrupt as it might seem, or people might want to shout about. So.
Well, and that's the part really that bothers me is the corruption charge. And get out of here, man. This is like a second job. People have no idea the time that goes in to making team of the week and making all those cards and doing transactions, and you have no idea. And the few people that volunteer to do it for the community so that they can have somewhere to play, and then all they do is bash it There's a lot of times it doesn't seem worth it, if I'm being truly honest.
Agreed.
And it's unfortunate that nobody appreciates what goes into keeping this league together.
So, thanks to you guys for clearing that up in a civil manner, especially you given the things that were on the line, if you will.
All right.
You made a good point there. It's a frustrating time when you practice and you put stuff in, and you want to see the results go on the pitch, and when they don't go against you, yeah, it's unfortunate. But nice one to you guys for sorting that out in the right manner, and thanks to everyone else that is live and participating with us on the Twitch feed. We appreciate you coming and supporting the league, and hopefully you're hearing the fact that we're trying to do things right, and we're human. We're all human at the end of the day. So yeah, there is sometimes a need for hindsight and a need for review. I think towards the end of the season there'll be a league review, as there normally is. Adam normally brings us all together. The board of governors, the admins, himself, Gump, etc. I know from previous seasons he's actually pulled in 2 or 3 of the owners as well. We've had a bit of a sort of group chat meeting about the league and how we're going to move forward. So hopefully that'll be upcoming, and we'll try and keep everyone involved as much as we can for that as well. So let's move on.
Can I just add something right there? Like, just like you saying that, I think a good idea, like for next season, to save all this, controversy and all that. If we had a dispute section where, like, instead of the admins voting or the higher hierarchy voted, where the community could vote on a dispute in a match.
No, we're not going to do that. I'm gonna tell you why. You want mass confusion. Everybody's got an agenda, okay? And everybody wants their team to get the outcome when there's a dispute. We have rules in place, and if there's a dispute on the rules or someone wants to make a suggestion to amend a rule, then absolutely, please bring it in. But I want to tell you something. I wouldn't ever do anything intentionally to hurt the league. I can't tell you how many times I've disbanded, the good that was in my team for an owner that quit to send one of my players to take over that team so we didn't lose it. So, I always want what's best for the league. And I know absolutely, I see Lindsay put their unbiased admins. I'm certainly not biased, even with my own team, as I gave.
Did I say that?
I know you didn't. I'm just saying the people I have in place I feel are honest people. Like I said, Raymond begged me to give you the forfeit.
That's not mine, is it?
So I'm just saying I think we have good admins in place that are honest, and I just think that would turn into a circus. If you want a place where people can suggest rule changes, then I'm all for it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Agreed. So good point on that one.